Radio Zero.
It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose. And if I just click on share here, I'll share this video with the fabric upcycling community.
We're on Patreon, patreon.com/Radio Zero. Patronize us if you must. What else? Yeah, we're trying to live stream. We might be on the Poster Children YouTube right now. You can go search for it. Twitch at PCJCUSA, and we're on the Facebook page for Poster Children Radio Zero. Facebook pages. And you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or get a link at radiozero.us.
I'm afraid to... I'm not sure if we're on the Radio Zero page right now. I see us on the Poster Children page.
Well, there's not much I can do about it.
Okay. Well, welcome, everybody.
Are people saying that we're not
No,
on there?
Okay. I clicked on the Radio Zero page, and I don't see it.
You're
but I'm not
member of the page, so...
Yeah, it could be. That could be why.
Well, why don't you talk a bit, and I'll try to figure it out.
Well, Larry's found us, and 6 other people have found us on the Poster Children page, and it says Poster Children is live now, so that's fine. I think. We've had there've been like I last night I tried to update my watch, like now I'm terrified anytime I get like a thing that says, "Oh, you've got to update something." Like it just seems like it's out of the blue, and it said I needed to update my watch, and I was like, "Why?" Cuz I'm afraid, like, cuz every time we get like a notification about the Tesla that we need to update the Tesla, it's like, "Oh no, it might crash in the mid update." So I was like reticent to fix or to update my watch, and it didn't update overnight, and then now I'm like it's not good. It's not good days for technology, I guess.
Okay, it says we're live on the Radio Zero page. Yeah, okay. So you were on vacation in Florida, then the Tesla broke down again.
Did you get trapped inside?
I did not get trapped inside this time. I stayed outside. In fact, I read somewhere where it said make sure to roll down the window just in case you get locked inside. So that was an interesting piece of advice, even though there's the
The-
quick release,
yeah,
the
there's
emergency release.
Mechanical
But
release.
yeah, the problem was last time is that the window was rolled down overnight because we did that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had to postpone it, and then we were going to do it later, but you were busy in Florida, and so then we had our guest. We did a guest show. So this is our first live stream for a couple of weeks, I think.
So yeah, so we've missed you, Larry. I hope you've been okay. Yeah, Larry says he doesn't like updating his phone either. Yeah, he likes it when everything is the same. And Joe Chrisman is saying hi too. So
That's old people stuff, though, right? Not liking it when things update.
I'm gonna be William Shatner now and put on my new glasses, my new reading glasses.
I had a problem the other day as I commented on a post that I was tagged in, and then it wound up being a share, and I don't know how that happened. So yeah, not liking things changing. That's kind of like not liking Facebook, or it's like constantly changing and doing things that are difficult.
Larry says he's only 50. Only. That's good. Nick's here with us too. Nick 2 weeks, I think I read earlier today with no I don't want to, get into people's lives or anything, but Nick, I was proud of you. Tim Bowers, did I say it says you're old? So okay, good. So we're all caught up now. If anybody else wants to say something to us, I'll just read it on here. So I'm all excited because tonight is the Steampunk Festival. You guys can see, some of you guys might be able to see this ring that I have on my hand. It covers my entire fourth finger. It's 3 sections of metal work. Aubergine. Tim is somewhere.
Is that steampunk, or is that just like
this is steampunk?
D&D?
I say it's steampunk. It's steampunk. I have these glasses which I got at we have like neighborhood sales now. It's like a huge. So I love this town because it has a steampunk festival. It's not like a Renaissance festival. Steampunk is cooler, but I don't get like like somebody was asking me, oh, what's steampunk? And I knew the words punk and I knew the word steampunk before I knew what 20,000 leagues under the sea, or what is that? I don't even know what that is.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
That's not it.
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne. Is that so? I've never read that.
The Difference Engine, you didn't read that? The one with William Gibson and...
I did. I feel like I read that,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think you
didn't.
read that.
It went in one eye and out the other eye. I don't remember what happened in it. But, I was a punk before I was a steampunk. But our kid is really into steampunk.
I don't understand why there's not a cyberpunk festival.
Because this isn't Atlanta, Georgia, or like Cyberpunk Festival, you'd have I could. Well, it is kind of a cyberpunk festival because everybody that is going to be walking around on the streets is going to have LEDs all over themselves tonight. So
Yeah.
this is that kind of. Yeah, Nick is saying
It's more like
Difference Engine is a
Steam
great
Cyber
book.
Festival. I don't think there's any punk in it.
Yeah, there's no
Seems like
punk.
very little punk. It
Yeah.
seems more
Yeah.
like 1800s Dungeons and Dragons festival.
So
What's
they
it
have
called? Renaissance
like
Fair.
they have like teacup races, which I don't know what that is. Oh, maybe I've never seen any of this stuff. I've only Athens, Georgia would be the cyber.
Columbian Exposition Festival.
They always would have a Tesla coil here, but the Tesla coil's not going to be here. The guys with the Tesla coil's not going to be here.
The guy with the Tesla coil got
Guy.
electrocuted.
No, and then they always use CDs. They always take CDs and they electrocute them in the Tesla coil, and then they give them to people. Here's a CD.
And they go, "What's this?" I
But
don't understand.
like all the silver comes off of the CD. It's pretty exciting.
Silver what?
Are you gonna? April Smith says she has a steam-powered mobile phone. That's great. Postmodern Renaissance fair, is what Nick is saying. I'm trying to think of what else. Then they have some lady singer, which I'm not going to go to.
Nice.
Well, I don't want to hear that.
Supportive musicians.
what's she
I don't
gonna-
want to hear
Some lady sing.
steampunk
That's
music.
What is that going to be? What is steampunk
So,
music going to be?
You're a punk rocker. You're a musician.
Yeah.
You're going to a steampunk festival. You're wearing some Dungeons and Dragons jewelry, But that's where you draw the line.
You know
a
what?
musician
Yeah,
who's
I'm not going to go
performing
listen.
at a
I'm not going to
steampunk
go listen
festival.
to a musician anyway.
Maybe it's your music.
I could. It won't be because I don't have any music. My music is NPR, man. You can quote me on that.
It's all like if it was really, it'd be all steam powered player piano. It'd be all Calliope music, right? That's what you
Actually,
should have.
I feel like they had that. Then
Yeah.
they have like a old white people dance. Like there's so many white people around here that like are into like French things and stuff. Like because they had right before this, like a couple of weeks ago, they had like a French festival, like a old time French, tea festival, like with people buying, farmhouse shit, that type of thing. What type of food do they have there?
I'd go see punk rock covers played on a Calliope. I'd go to that.
You would maybe
that's what I should be doing.
Yeah, why don't you be the
Just
one?
invest in a Calliope and work
And then
on
that
it.
would be steampunk.
Yeah, work on it in the garage, and then
I'd
spend my summers traveling steampunk festivals, playing "God Save the Queen" on Calliope.
yeah, I'd totally do that. We were being picked apart for not knowing who Che Guevara was in our last capoeira class, and then you guys don't even know who Pol Pot was and stuff. And I was thinking, you're not allowed to talk back, but I know all these people, and it's because I was a punk rocker. So I was going to send the song, "Holiday in Cambodia," from the Dead Kennedys, which is known to our capoeira instructor, but I just gave up. But like with punk rock, a little history. You get a little bit of history.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I think Holiday in Cambodia would be difficult to play on the Calliope. And people would like...
Doesn't the end of it, though, end with like, Pol Pot, Pol Pot, Pol Pot,
Pol Pot.
Pol Pot.
And then he
Pol
goes,
Pot.
Pol Pot, right at the end.
Anything off Sandinista would work on Calliope. Yeah, it's true. They're talking about smoked meat. They're talking about what kind of food they have at the steampunk festival. So last time we went to the steampunk festival, you came with.
What? Yeah. So what?
We went to the hamburger
was the
place.
hot dog? Did the hot dog debut at the Columbian Exposition, or was that in St. Louis? It's just it has to all be food that was at World's Fairs in the late 1800s. That's what I expect at my steampunk festival.
But there's, it's going to be corn because we live although the corn is not ready yet. Yeah,
It's
what
true.
are they? They're not going to have any food. Well, last time we were there too late, though. Remember, they were closing up all the vendors and stuff. So, all right, but I did end up. So I went into the giant. There's like where Morrissey played. Okay, I went into that area. That's where all the white people were dancing, and they were all dressed up. And there was a guy calling it like, right. And it was like a square dance type thing. Like
it's not
ballroom dance.
Ballroom, like, yeah.
And then on the sides, they had vendors, and they had like dudes selling things made out of leather and like, with cogs and stuff.
Cocaine for children.
And like Dow was like
What else?
like
What else would
beside
they be
himself.
selling?
Cocaine for children. Well, that's kind of what it was. I mean, like little gun things, and like I'm trying to think of what they had, like little vials and shit, like vials where you would put your cocaine, for when you went to junior high, you'd keep your cocaine in this vial.
7% solution. Yeah, original Coca-Cola.
Hi, Dannon.
Original.
Yeah, original Coca-Cola.
What else? Cup of hot chocolate.
What else
steam.
they had? Then they had they had costumes and stuff. I'm trying to think of what else they had. Then there was a kid yelling. There was like a how you see a quad preacher, but it was a kid actually on the steps. It was somebody we know's kid was like being theatrical on the steps. And then you went downstairs, and then that's where the Tesla coil was last time. It was like in the center of town.
I didn't like the phrenologist telling me I had a dull normal, the head of a dull normal.
I'm trying to remember what else they had. What was worse is like I was walking down the street here, and a lady told me that it's going to be scaled back this year, and I was like, how could they scale it back anymore? It's like, but I see, the Tank Girl is a good steampunk movie. Really? Do I have to watch it? Maybe I can watch it through the lens of steampunk, and then I'll be able to watch it.
Seems like everything that's science fiction falls into the category of steampunk now. Considering what tanks? Well, I guess that's
I'm
the
gonna look
idea
it
is
up
that you'd
now.
have a steam-powered tank rather than.
Cogs and corsets. Because okay. So tomorrow, through our library, which I'm sure this is free for you guys. Join us June 4th for one night only. So it's only one night.
I thought there was something tomorrow.
Tomorrow
during the
morning
day.
through the library, you can. There's a thing on women's underpants.
That's every weekend at the library, right?
No.
They have that.
Splendid teapot racing rules. Here's the schedule. And then there's also something for the men, too. I'm trying to remember here. The great airship hunt. So they want you to go walk around downtown and look for an airship. There's going to be an airship hidden in a business downtown. Promenade, 5 o'clock. 5 to 8 p.m., our child is pretty interested in the Nerf dueling on the northwest lawn of the museum. 5 to 8 dirigible races she doesn't want to do because he doesn't have a dirigible.
These all sound like euphemisms to me.
Yeah. 5 to 8 also STEAM activities for the family. STEAM activities. So express your creativity, and that's TEA, with tea painting, TEA again, and decorating your own steampunk-inspired picture frame, and more. Then there's a costume accessories contest. So, maybe our child will win that. Probably not though. He does. I told him he's total cosplayer thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I told him all he needs is LEDs though, because everybody's always got LEDs and stuff.
Not very steampunk.
But the thing is, so he did all this stuff all himself. And anybody but it looks like we helped him probably.
I want to see someone with a large array of incandescent bulbs on their head carrying a
that could be you.
Lead acid battery.
So there's a $18 lovely breakfast buffet on the lawn of the Vrooman Mansion. The Light Surpass will feature sun-dried tomato basil quiche, which you can't eat since you're a vegan, pastries, fruits, coffee, and of course tea. So apparently tea is a big steampunk thing. Either that or tea is big here. Menu subject to change. Oh yes, 10 a.m. The Skinny on the Scanties, a history of women's underwear. And then 1 p.m. for the men, urban transit, moving in the city.
Exciting stuff. For those of you listening,
the categories for the costume contest are best goggles, best hat, best mask, and best overall accessory. So that child really he probably needs to bring his, what is that called? The mask that he has? The
plague doctor mask.
Plague doctor mask, yeah. Because who else has a plague doctor mask besides him?
Well, a lot of people. I just saw somebody doing a synthesizer demo in a plague doctor mask for some reason.
Oh man, yeah. See, so April says where she lives, they have an annual punk rock flea market. Pantaloons, Evan Lamp says, and I have those. I have pantaloons. And Joe Chrisman is saying there's no crazy reverb on our voices today. There could be.
My jodhpurs are in the wash.
Teacup racing are little race cars made out of cups, and they race them. Really? That's what it is? Okay. That makes sense. That seems Boy Scouty, except with teacups. So we're all excited about that, or I know Dow is excited about that.
Yes.
And are you going to come with us?
I don't know.
Because he was like, Dad might be coming with us. Daddy might be coming with us.
I guess I am.
Well, you can just dress like you have a beard.
Yeah, I'm not.
Just walk
I'm
around
not
with a
dressing
beard.
up. I'll go with. I'm not going to dress up.
Well, you'll clash. You'll mess.
That's right.
Well, that's fine.
You know what? I'm going to wear VR goggles just to be contrary.
To me, that fits right in with the steampunk festival. I don't even know why you would think that doesn't fit in.
Not steam goggles.
No. Okay, so what happened while I was away? What did I miss?
Boy, I don't remember.
While I was away in Florida.
I don't know. It's been a week since you've been back.
What do you want to like? It was great that we had Jonas on, right?
Yeah.
That was really nice. But we couldn't like and yeah, that's all. I won't say anything else about it. Okay. Well, thanks for listening.
I'm sorry, I didn't prepare.
What are you working on downstairs?
I'm doing
You just released something too.
remix for this Disorganizer.
Oh, okay. Good. That's a jazz band here.
I guess, yeah.
Kind of jazzy.
Improv, I would call it.
But they have a
Jazzy
saxophone,
improv.
so it's like jazz, right?
Yeah, it's like jazz.
Okay.
I
And
think it's more than that.
what else are you working on down there?
That's it. That's what I've been working on.
What did you just release like a day ago?
Oh, I did a Sparks cover.
Yeah.
I started it in December and just finished it the other day.
And then you're also getting ready to perform. You're gonna play a
that's
show.
in July.
Okay. Well,
That's
you're
a
not
month,
getting ready right
almost
now.
2 months from now. Well, I am, I guess, a little bit, but yeah, not. That's not what I'm focused on.
Are
right
you
now.
working on your costume?
I'm not working on my costume. You mean
Your performance
my
costume?
live costume?
Yeah. And what are you reading? You're
I'm going to be wearing jodhpurs.
Do you feel like you're did you pack enough shoes for Florida? That's funny. What did I for Florida? I didn't have to really pack much because I could just borrow stuff from my mom. So I had only a carry-on bag. And
It was fascinating watching it remotely on Facebook. Your mother, the day you got there, posted on Facebook a question. What do you do with towels when you have guests? It was very cryptic.
it turns out that's like a 80-year-old woman thing, like to be afraid of wet towels.
I don't know if that's an 80-year-old. I think that's painting all 80-year-old women as
crazy.
Yeah.
What Sparks song did you do? Danny Ingram wants to know.
Don't Shoot Me. It's a deep cut on Womp That Sucker. What is it called? I can't remember the record with the boxing cover. The cover where they're dressed up as boxers.
Yeah. No, my mom, she wasn't like I hung up my towel. She's got like a thing with wet towels. Like if you leave a wet towel on the floor, she gets crazy.
Right.
She like has a heart attack.
But so
she's
she
got a
posted
phobia.
she posted on Facebook. It was just a coincidence that she posted about towels.
No,
the
she
day.
was thinking about when also so her and my dad, she and my dad went with me to the pool, and so there were 3 wet towels.
Which is more
in the
than
house, which is more than they
she can
usually have.
handle.
Yeah, it's way more than she can handle.
Got it.
So she was wondering, and then she was like, she's preparing for when I bring the children to visit her. She was preparing to, what are we going to do? And then also, like, everybody else is visiting her too. Carla's visiting her. Everybody's visiting. So she wanted to know what you do with towels, because they don't dry out there. They don't dry out in Florida. So she's, I didn't. Believe me, I get offended by plenty of stuff that I don't.
It was just weird. And then she doxed you. Also, she put your phone number and name up on Facebook.
She said, my daughter needs a ride to the airport. Here's her phone number. Please, please call her immediately.
Menace.
Yeah. And then I saw it and I was like, oh. But then you called and you reminded me, can you have your mom take that off of Facebook? And I was like, yeah, I probably should do that.
Not that
She's got like 10 friends.
Not that anybody answers the phone anyways.
Right. Larry
These
wants
days.
to know, are you guys interested in the Sparks documentary coming out?
Oh, I'm very interested in it.
Apparently nobody's that interested in my mom.
Yeah, they're much more interested in Sparks. Yes. No, I'm very interested. I was really upset that I did not get tickets for it. Was at Sundance, or there was a stream of it, and I did not get the privilege to pay. What was it, $20, $50 to watch?
Aw.
I don't know how much it was a couple months ago, so I have to wait. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. I love Sparks.
I don't know enough about Sparks.
Yeah,
Can you
that's
tell
not
me?
enough people do.
Can you tell me about it?
Two brothers from Los Angeles started out as kind of a glam rock. I was almost going to say proggy. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's kind of, the music is really crazy, the early records, and then they became a synth pop band, and they're pretty consistently synth poppy, I would say, but that's not their original kind of format. They've gone through a bunch of different phases, and they have lots of great songs, and they were popular in England. They in fact moved to England for a long time and worked with Giorgio Moroder, and the drummer that did like drumming for Giorgio Moroder and engineering, Keith Forsey, I think his name is, who was the guy who produced and wrote "Don't You Forget About Me," and I believe produced Billy Idol records. He plays drums on a Sparks record. Mac. The record I did a cover. The song I did a cover from was engineered, produced by Mac, who's like the engineer producer who did like the good sounding Billy Squier records. Engineered a lot of the Queen's stuff. Like there's this specific kind of room drum sound that this German engineer did in the early 80s that I'm in love with. And so...
Oh, what does it sound like?
It sounds like a variation on the Intruder drum sound, which is the Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, Hugh Padgham. Who else was in the room? I always forget. What's his name? Steve Lillywhite. Classic 80s drum sound, which is that Phil Collins In the Air Tonight sound. But
yeah.
Mac's sound is kind of that room drum sound. I don't think it's gated, but then also the guitars are really roomy. So if you think of, those big Billy Squier songs, that sound, it's kind of like right at the end of analog recording and sort of perfect room sounding kind of stuff. It's very unique. It doesn't work that great on the Sparks record because it's obvious that they kind of just did a lot of the songs quickly. Like the song I did a cover of, it doesn't sound as good as it should. So it's really cool sounding, but it could have been, if somebody had an extra $100,000, they probably could have made it sound even better. Like, Sparks weren't Queen, so they didn't have as much time and money to work on the records.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out, like, were they a punk rock band?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, they definitely. Well, so the
where are they from? First of all,
Los Angeles. So the one brother looks like a rock star, has long, beautiful flowing hair, and then the other brother, for a long time, had a Charlie Chaplin mustache. You must have seen them. I mean, you've seen them. If I show you a picture of them, you'd recognize them.
I probably wouldn't.
Song with Jane Weedland. In the 80s.
See, this is the type of thing that freaks me out. Like, I don't know.
You'll probably enjoy the documentary.
Ugh.
I showed you the video. The iPhone, what's the song? The new song was the one, put the fucking iPhone down and listen to me.
Put your fucking iPhone down and listen to me. Yeah. Okay.
That's them.
How old?
They're
what
ancient.
year?
They're in their 70s now, I think.
Oh,
so
all right.
They're like they've been around
cool.
forever.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. And Larry's saying that. So April's asking, is there something happening with the Sparks? A musical person I know posted a video on their Facebook page this week.
Yeah. The documentary's coming out, but the PRF tribute series
did
a Sparks thing in December. That's why I worked on it in December. I just never finished it.
Okay, and then Larry says Sparks was in the Thriller roller coaster about a mad bomber who threatens to blow up a roller coaster in an amusement park.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, okay, and Dick Clark must have seen something in them. He had them on American Bandstand numerous times.
It's always, he always has them on, and they're always messing with them. They had a sense of humor, and they were a little anarchic, I guess, in a way, or just really sarcastic. I think they're a sarcastic band.
And
that's probably why they weren't as famous.
Okay, so Danny's saying Sparks are great. Start with Kimono in My House.
Yes, that's the kind of early 70s Sparks with the band.
So, what kind of drugs do the Sparks fans do? Like, is it a pot, or is it a cocaine band or a heroin band?
I don't think it's like a nerd band.
Really?
It's like a cult band.
So
they're definitely like the definition of a cult band.
Okay.
Except they were popular in England. I mean, they were popular. Like, but
there are just two of them?
Yeah, it's two brothers. Well, I mean,
Okay.
they would have they expand and contract. So sometimes they would have a full band, but then like in the synth pop era, it was just the two of them,
And
right?
again, tell me what was the beginning year?
Oh, they had a band called Half Nelson before Sparks, and that was in like the late '60s.
Jesus Christ.
These guys are
Okay, so they're
in their '70s, but
all right.
they don't look it.
Okay, all right. So it was a '70s band, so that's why I don't know who it is.
I
Like they
guess,
started-
but they were new wave too. I mean, they were kind of like a cutting edge new wave. They really, you know.
All right, Dannon says the Sparks documentary is wonderful.
Yeah.
He saw it as part of the Sundance
Yeah.
this year, as Sundance was
Go to hell.
online.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright did a great job. Now you didn't even say Edgar Wright did the
Yeah, because Edgar Wright is dangerously close to being, problematic. Just by association, he just seems to wind up working with.
Are you canceling Edgar
I'm not
Wright?
canceling Edgar Wright.
Okay. So
Our son had to remove his Baby Driver poster from the from his wall because there were too many canceled people on the poster.
yeah. And he's the ethics advisor in the house. Really, he's like the ethics police. He's
That's
more.
right.
Would you say that you're more? Would you say he's more of the ethics police than you are? Because I was trying. Yeah.
Woke. The
Yeah.
woke.
The woke police.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely was in a workshop kind of situation, and I somehow got myself into the woke position at that by just saying some very
Oh, you were
what
the
I
white
thought
savior.
were saying some innocuous, what I thought was innocuous stuff, like. But it all turned out fine.
Yeah, I actually wanted to know, about that. You'd come, like you'd finish and it's a top secret workshop. You
No,
couldn't talk about it. Design. It was a
it went
systems
great. It
thinking
went great.
workshop.
Yeah.
So
No,
what did you? Let's talk a little bit about that. So Rick attended a systems thinking workshop. Systems thinking is really interesting to me because there's this great little book that I had students read this systems thinking book, and then they made really good art out of it. Like they made really good art. They had to draw a system.
Well, that's the thing is the thinking in systems, I think, is the book you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? It's pretty dry and it's pretty. I feel like the systems thinking stuff before design thinking happened, right?
Yeah, it was the predecessor.
Is pretty dry and analytical, and I feel like you're abstracting humanity rather than you're trying to turn human interactions into diagrams. And so what was interesting about this workshop is it's kind of a post-design thinking, systems thinking workshop. So it's like systems thinking within the context of design thinking, not within the context, but it has more
as viewed through the lens of
Yeah.
of design thinking.
And so it's about thinking about systems, underlying systems in human interaction, but it felt more person-centric than my initial experience with systems
So
thinking,
what
which
was your
seemed much more clinical or, kind of less human. It seemed to take you away from people.
describing systems and
Yeah.
not like actual mechanical systems, but the systems, the thinking in systems book, I remember. Yeah, it starts
No,
with
but
like
it's a very valid, I think, a valid approach because the idea is you map out this whole system and then you try to find like points of like levers and places, because usually when you think about how to solve a problem, usually the only solution is money, right? It's like, well, if we had more money, we'd be able to fix this problem. If you map out a system, you can say, oh, well, wait a minute. If I put some social pressure here or maybe just a small amount of money here, it's going to have a much larger effect, throughout the system, and you can see the interconnections of things. And so that's why it's good. It's, a way of, looking at the way the world works and kind of trying to map it out and find new ways of solving problems.
So can you like give us a pretty clear example? Like what was your presentation, or like what's the?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was just about the university and how to present the university post-COVID, you know.
Which I saw that they did today. Like there was a like a post, saying we're going to go back to traditional ways that a university operates, and there was like a bunch
COVID
of thumbs
statement.
up.
So that's what everyone has to write now is a post-COVID statement. So it was like you gotta write explaining what's going on, like whether or not your university or your workplace, your business is going to require testing, whether or not it's going to be voluntary. What about wearing, mask wearing, all that kind of stuff is like so. Everybody's having to write rules this summer, or write a document this summer outlining how the world is going to work.
So speaking of document, like we have a statement, like we have to have a DEI statement in our unit, and then there's
diversity,
also
equity, and inclusion.
Equity and inclusion statement, and then there's a statement of this university exists on Native American land. So like we've stolen this land.
It's an acknowledgement. What is it called?
Land acknowledgement of land theft or something.
We can have a fancy phrase for
we'll probably have that. I've got my she, they pronouns up for everybody to see. That I had to put that up. That was and then I had to consult with Bag Boy on that. I was pretty happy about that. I'm down 3 here. I was getting to, oh crap, now I've lost my train of thought because we were getting to somewhere. I wanted to talk about how weird it is to go walking around the store now because you don't. So yeah, I guess I'll move on to that. So the post-COVID statement, has to take care of the people who are like, I'm not sending my kid there if they're going to be believing in COVID. And then it also has to deal with the people who are like, I feel sick still. I can't go to school because I had COVID and now I want to be remote all the time and everything in between.
Yeah, I saw a new phrase today, which was high flex teaching, which is hybrid flexible, which means teaching your course so that it's online, in person, and
synchronous and asynchronous, I'll bet.
All students, yes. So all students, depending on how they want to participate in the class, can participate, which to me sounds
like a
overwhelming
fucking nightmare. But that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm totally going to be doing that. The problem is going to be the only problem is going to be some kind of grading. Like there's going to be a problem with grading.
There's always a problem with grading.
And there is always. So you go into this. My classes are going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 10 to 11:15 or whatever they are going to be. Okay, and so 10:30 to 11:45. Right. Those are going to be my classes. So you can come to my class, but I will also have Zoom on and a camera on me. Right. But so there will have to be a camera on me. If I'm drawing I won't be drawing on the board. I'll be typing on my computer anyway because I'm teaching computer programming. Then I'll be walking around so people will see me. So people will be able to tune in remotely, I guess, synchronously, or be in the class with me.
And I don't.
And I'm going to tape it all.
I don't think that's a requirement. I don't think you need to do that.
But I'm going to tape it all, and so that they can watch it if they didn't make it.
I don't know why you would do that if it's not an expectation and not a demand.
Because what if somebody does get you always get and then I've got the people at the beginning of teaching. I always say, if you're not going to come to my class, you do not have to email me and tell me that you're sick because I don't care. I'm sorry that you're sick, but you're going to miss my class. And so, if your arm fell off, or you were too drunk last night, or your cat died at home, I don't it's the end result is that you missed my class, and I'm not going to reteach it to you. I hope I don't have to reteach it to you. So, hopefully you'll just watch the notes. Or now though they can watch the class. You know what I mean? So nobody has to miss my class.
Yeah, well.
But when they miss the class, they never watch it. So that's a kind of a problem. Oh, can you explain it to me? I watched it, but I didn't understand. The big problem is that people don't want to sit in the classroom and listen to it. They want to be taught individually. They want you, and they think that they can learn all the stuff it takes you an hour and 15 minutes to talk about. They think you can put it in their brain in like 10 minutes. Just tell me what I need to know. That's the problem. The just tell me what I need to know problem. Did I interrupt you?
Oh, no,
not
yeah,
talking?
yeah.
How do the boys want to do their schooling? Yeah, they want to go back, but they wait till 6 a.m. and they have to wake up. Nobody's going to want to go back. So
I think right now there's not going to be a remote.
Yeah, there won't be a
option.
remote
I haven't
option
heard
until
anything about
people
that.
start getting sick again. But okay, so walking around in the Jewel, like the first day that they dropped the mask mandate, now there are signs, for those of you guys who are listening in the year 2200, now there are signs up that say masks are strongly encouraged for people who are not fully vaccinated. That's what all the signs say. It said it at Target. It says it at Jewel and stuff. So that's the only mask sign that you get, is that it's strongly encouraged for you if you're not vaccinated. So I'm walking around the store. If I'm wearing a mask, I look like an unvaccinated asshole. If I'm wearing a mask, right? So, and I don't really want to wear a mask. I have new lipstick. I want to wear lipstick. So I'm walking around, but if I don't have a mask on, people are still glaring at me. Like, you asshole, you're not wearing a mask. Because those are the people who didn't read the sign. They think it's still, the COVID is still going on. And that you can still, and the thing is, I got a vaccination, right? I got 2 vaccinations in my arm while I was getting radiation for breast cancer. I did the work. I believed in the science. So I did that so I wouldn't be susceptible to catching COVID, and so I wouldn't be susceptible to carrying it to other people. So I did the work. Shouldn't I believe in the science? Isn't that how this goes?
Yeah, the problem is that you seem to think you're living in a world where it's about making decisions and being concerned about what other people are doing and what your effect is on other people, instead of just doing what's good for you. And so you're vaccinated, you get to do whatever you want, because we're living in a world where it's all about individual responsibility now. So that's your problem, is that you don't have to wear a mask because you're vaccinated. You're worried about what other people think and what other people have done
What
or
kind of
haven't
message
done.
am I sending to?
What kind of message you're sending?
Yeah.
And we're not living in that world, a world where that's important.
Okay, well, what do you do when you go to Jewel? Do you wear a mask?
I have a mask under my chin, so people know that. I don't know.
So you look. Do you have so you look like you're just incorrectly wearing a mask?
No, I just have a mask around my neck if I need it and I'm at a place that requires it. So it's obvious I'm not an anti-masker, but...
Is it, though? Because you're not wearing it correctly. You just got it under your chin.
I don't know why an anti-masker would wear a mask incorrectly. They would just not wear a mask.
Well, you see the people walking around with their noses hanging out of their masks.
Yeah, that's just people who don't like the mask and don't want their glasses to steam up, or don't like, breathing. Yeah, they don't like breathing through the mask, so they breathe through their nose.
Okay.
That's
all right,
simple.
All right, so but that's the thing. So you wear a mask. So you know what I did to signify that I wasn't an asshole? I had reusable bags. I was like, people will know I'm a Democrat because, and I'm not even a Democrat. People will know that I'm left wing and liberal because I have my bags.
Yeah, and that's a really superficial way of, because there are plenty of, people who you would consider liberal, hippie, progressive people who are also anti-vaxxers too. It's not just right-wing racist homophobes. There are plenty of people that you would, stereotype based on, their reusable bags and everything like that, who don't want to have their children vaccinated. So
yeah. All right. Well, okay. So there's a leftover commercial, or not commercial. There's a leftover message here from Evan saying, "Speaking of rock docs, have you bothered to see what drives us? Seems like P Kids should have been part of that one."
Well, no, because we're not a well-known band.
Yeah.
We have no fame to bring.
Who's in it?
It's the Dave
Probably-
Grohl one.
Oh, give me a break. Yeah, we're not Dave Grohl. Yeah. But my book is going to change all that. It's going to be me. So I need people to tell me who to make sure that I put in my book and who to not, like, because, all right, so I got
It's too
word
late
that
for that, Rose.
my book is already going to happen. What's too late? I'm still writing it.
It's like your third edit. You're not going to be adding stuff, right?
I am totally adding stuff.
All right.
I think I probably forgot to write about one of our drummers, or I didn't write enough about Jim or something. I have to write something about Jim. And then Jim did this.
Who was talking about the Jimmy Webb? He his autobiography doesn't include the woman he was married to for 20 years.
Yeah, see, this is going to be a problem, right? I wrote about you, and you have to go through it. You know, you're
It's
going to
really
have
all
to.
that matters.
You're going to have to read it.
Yes,
it
I
talks about how if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have written the book, and you should have written the book because you're better than me.
Yeah,
But
so that
you're
all
a
that stuff should go.
perfectionist.
Yeah, all
No.
that stuff should go.
No,
It's not.
but I wrote it because you were like,
That's something you say in an acknowledgement or a thank you.
yeah.
It's not something you say in a book.
No.
In the main part of the
But
book.
so, like, should I write who's the asshole in the screaming trees? Should I write, hey, who's the asshole in the screaming trees in there? Like, should I, like, I wrote about Heidi and Candace and Barb, like my bass sisters, right?
I don't think you should write about anything you don't think is important.
No, I understand, but, and it's a big but. Like, there's probably things that I've forgotten, you know?
Probably.
Like, oh,
That's
shit,
what
I
happens.
forgot.
Doesn't
Actually,
there's no right or wrong answer. That's the problem, is you think there's a right answer.
so
The book will be good if I remember to write about all of these specific things. It's like, no, the book is going to be good even if you leave some stuff out.
Oh, isn't that nice? No, so the thing is,
And it's possible it will be bad if you put things in for a reason other than it being interesting or part of your story, an essential part of your story.
So when I
you
was
could actually ruin the book by overcompensating.
well, so Lori, so the director of UI Press said, oftentimes people will pick up a book really, they'll pick it up and just look through. They'll look in the in the
Index.
index to see their name. She said that your index should just be all proper nouns, just all names of things.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. So
That's great. I love it.
Okay. All right.
So the Tesla's back, by the way. What delayed the last broadcast? It was a high voltage controller, and what did they replace? The high voltage controller and the 12 volt. I thought they were replacing the CPU or the computer, but it seems like they didn't replace the computer.
They replaced a controller.
Yeah. The high voltage controller.
Okay. All right.
The HVC. And it's been fine so far, but I don't think there's been a firmware update recently.
So, I was driving it today, and I decided I didn't want to hear the radio, so I clicked the little left button, but that just didn't go off. It just didn't turn the radio off.
Turn
so
off
I
the
had
radio.
so sometimes you have to reboot it often,
And you can reboot it while you're driving, right?
Well, I don't understand. Why can't they? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I've tried to reboot it while I was driving. No.
The screen just goes black.
It's a giant iPhone. Why can't they just swap out the motherboard and put a different? I still love it. I still love the Tesla.
You saw our son trying to or replacing the battery in an iPhone. It's not not easy.
Yeah, but he did.
Yeah, he did it, but it's not easy.
All right. Well, so yeah, it's back.
Yeah, nothing to tell. And then you were in Florida.
I was in Florida with my. It was a family vacation. What can I talk about?
I don't think we already talked a little bit about it. I was just finishing the the Tesla update that had delayed the last episode or the previous to last episode. That's all I was doing.
I got to hang out with like all my parents' pickleball friends, and like these are all people like the kind of people who like not like us.
Yeah,
like,
normal people.
They like people who just don't care about anything that you care about at all. Like, and like you don't even know how to talk to them. Sort of that type of thing. Like the people who you would talk about sports scores to or something like that. Do people still do that? People still talk about sports scores and stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about that. It's like this guy who was the coach at Duke or whatever. Like you got a email message from the New York Times telling you about this guy retiring, and then it was on NPR.
I get really irritated when I get
just like
why? My
why?
watch buzzes, and I think either you're going to text me something. So, oh, is it Rick? No. Is it my boss? No, it's the fucking New York Times telling me that some sports ball guy is retiring.
Yeah, I was really irritated. It's like when they talk about the Bachelor or the Bachelorette or whatever on NPR. I get really mad.
I just want to hear the new stupid thing that Trump did, even though he's not president anymore. Like, why can't you talk about that? Why can't you? What's he up to? He wrote a blog? Oh, okay. I'd like to hear about that. So
What's
I can feel superior.
interesting is that the tennis player who quit the French Open, right? She didn't want to do the press conference afterwards, and they fined her $15,000 after she won a match.
Yeah, and then now you haven't stopped hearing about her.
Yeah, but I thought that was interesting. That was an interesting sports thing.
Yeah, I liked that too. And then, these sports people actually have lives, and we need to, this is
I think it was more that like it's a contractual requirement that if you play in this tennis tournament, you have to do a press conference after you win.
Yeah,
it's like, or you get fined, you get charged $15,000.
You thought that was interesting?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And so go reread the David Foster Wallace book again, because like there's something to tennis and there's something to racket sports that.
Well, it's all
totally
sports. I'm sure that's the thing. It's like I just never even thought about like. For instance, like a coach or something like that, is they probably sign a contract and it's probably required of them to do, like it's in their contract that they have to do the press conferences afterwards, even if that's why you see those videos. Again, the only sports stuff I see is like coaches screaming at reporters and stuff. It's because they have to be there, right? They have, or else they'll get dinged in their contract or something, right?
For tennis, it's got to be different because there are only, one or two people on the court at a time, or one through four. And then like with the football teams, there's a lot more people. Yeah,
you got like 4 or 5 guys sitting up on there talking about why they failed at their multi-million-dollar sports ball game.
So are you guys going to watch The Conjuring 3 this weekend? So I don't even know.
I don't think, I haven't seen Conjuring 1 and 2, so I don't think I would know what was going on.
I got Bag Boy to watch the Karate Kid or the Cobra Kai, and he's so upset. He couldn't make it through like the first couple of episodes. He's just getting, I'm trying to remember what was upsetting him. It was like, they have Johnny Lawrence on there, but I listened to that whole Mark Maron interview with William Zabka, which, I would have liked to have heard more, but, it was interesting hearing him talk for like a whole hour. It's kind of nice. But there's like a lot, so that character is stuck in the 80s. And people like him now, and he's like he's sad underdog sort of character. Right. But he's never used a computer. He doesn't know what Facebook is. But also, he says everybody, these kids these days are pussies, and that was upsetting Bag Boy. He was getting triggered by that. He was like, well, what is the message of this? It sounds like they're really insulting, Gen Z and stuff. And he didn't like that. And I was like, just keep watching because it's called into question, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. It was upsetting his sensibilities. I think it made me sad.
Yeah, it may not be for kids, maybe for old people who saw the original Karate Kid when they were in
okay, all right,
junior high.
All right, so what have you watched this week?
Me?
Yes.
Boy, I
You're
don't know if I've
watching-
watched anything.
You've been working just hard in your studio down there, right?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Do you feel like a sense of relief that you're not teaching right now?
No,
No. Okay.
I sense a relief. No,
Or just,
I just
do you have
I'm
more time
working
to
on
do
other
something
stuff.
else? Okay.
Yeah, it's summer. I work on other stuff.
Right.
I work on the house and I work on music. That is what my summers are for.
All right. Well, you heard it here.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to have something
I want
more
you to
of
say
substance?
something. Yeah, you don't.
I
you
can't
have nothing
think
to,
of
Nothing to
anything.
talk about here.
Oh.
Are you reading anything? What are you reading? You are reading something.
Yeah, I'm reading a book. What is it called? Oh crap, Towards Freedom, I think. And then I'm also reading A World Without Email. My Cal Newport update. Crazy, radical, no email.
Is it changing your life in
No.
any way? Or
No, email's
Okay.
perfect. Email saved my life. No, I like email. I'm not going to get rid of it.
All right. Do you have any future plans? Anything you're looking forward to?
I'm going to read my email. Me? No. What about you? What's going on with you? Future plans? Yeah. See, I can just
I've
ask
got all
those kind of
kinds-
questions.
Yeah,
I got all sorts of
I've-
future plans.
I do. I'm gonna practice this backbendy move a little bit more. I'm trying to figure out. So this cancer drug that I'm taking, is supposedly making me exhausted and fatigued.
Hormone, right?
Hormone,
It's
right?
not a
Yeah,
cancer drug.
it
I would
is.
say.
It's since my cancer responds to estrogen,
Right.
I'm taking estrogen blockers.
Right.
So there's no estrogen. The estrogen is blocked in my body. So I have felt for like about a week or two after I started taking it, I felt like there's just a dark cloud just hanging over my head. Like I have like a fog in front of my eyes. I don't like, and I'm like, I think it's made me recognize, like I'm a person who gets real excited about different things. Like, ooh, I'm going to eat ice cream later today, or, oh, I'm going to go to the pool, or, oh God, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and have my coffee, like it's all food based, and I'm going to knit later, I'm going to take out this special, like I have all these little stupid things that I'm really excited to do. And I'm not excited to do any of them anymore. I just feel like there's this, like a blanket on my head.
Oh, that sounds like depression.
Yeah.
So you've gone from being manic to depressive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I just have, I kind of have just, all those happy moments are like things that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, ice cream is always exciting, but I feel like there's a blanket on my head. So I thought, I'd look up this, and I also I'm really tired. It's hard for me to. It's hard. Is it time to finish up here? Or?
No, I just got a message, and so I had to look at it. It's the tree guy, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
Jesus
didn't mean
Christ, the tree guy.
My watch has.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it because I had a problem with what you were saying. I did not mean to grind everything to a halt.
No, it's just stupid. So like I'm trying, like, so I looked up if, like I'm so depressed that I was thinking, I was wondering about like, I've been prescribed Xanax. So like, just in case you freak out too much, you can take this and it'll take the edge off, which I never took. And then I've been prescribed like, whatever else, shit that I've been prescribed, right? They're like all the things that I had to take when I was healing from the, surgeries and stuff, all those drugs, like the ones, and so all those, like everything to like calm you down and take the edge off and stuff. But there's like no drugs that are okay to take that will stop you from being calm and stop you from being down. Like I know, like caffeine will work, right? Or I can start doing cocaine or something like that, right? So I looked it up, and it turns out that you can't take antidepressants with this drug because it blocks them.
Right.
Or I mean, the antidepressants block the estrogen blockers, so you get
that's
more
not
estrogen.
good.
And estrogen is what actually gets you up and makes you, feel like going, and, makes you happy and stuff, I guess. So I'll just have 5 to 7 years without that. And then when I'm 62 or 63, then I can start living life again. So I'm excited about that. I'm counting down the days. I'm a month into this, so I've got 5 times 12 minus 1 months to go. So that's good. No, I'm just, so then, then I texted the oncologist and I was like, hey, I'm sad. And I looked up, there's all these notes files with women going, I can't live like this. This is no quality of life to live on this drug. I'm not going to take it anymore. And then there are other women like in the same little thread as somebody going, yeah, I stopped. I've had my 3rd reoccurrence of cancer, and my doctor says it's not because I stopped taking the but I'm worried that it is. I think that maybe I shouldn't have stopped, and maybe I should have stayed on it, even though it was making me sad and stuff. And so I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And there's even a calculator, like a risk calculator that you can take if you're not in this country. You can calculate out like, oh, taking this drug, the estrogen blocker, will make you 8% more likely to not get cancer. And then you can go, oh, 8%'s not good. I'm going to just stop taking it because it's no quality of life. So what the doctor said was, and I'd noticed that I would get like really tired, like at 3:00, like all the time. I'd be like, have you seen me laying in bed like between 3 and 4? I started even taking like a nap. I'd be like, oh, I'll just lay down for a half hour or something like that. But so then I texted the doctor, and the doctor said, well, why don't you, instead of taking it in the morning, take it right before bed. And then, if you get tired, 6 hours afterwards, you'll be asleep. So maybe you'll even sleep better. And I was like, and then he wrote, let me know if that helps. So that's like placebo bullshit, right?
No, that's what we talked about this from day one, which was like people didn't like the side effects of the medication.
Yeah, but how is the side effects going to be something that builds up over 2 weeks, right? Probably, right? It's not going to be like,
well, no,
it's not
everybody
happen
says that they have like, a few hours after taking it. We talked about this. And it was like, oh, yeah, some people don't like taking it at night because they get hot flashes in the middle of the night then. But other people are like, oh, I'm going to take it at night because it makes me tired and I don't like it. And
well, I don't believe any of this happens at all. I believe it's all psychosomatic. So
well, then yeah, no, you're right. It's hopeless, and you're just going to have to deal with it. But it seems like there's stuff that the doctor's saying and that other people have said, and there's an option that you can take it at night. You can
I'm
choose.
working my way to taking it at night.
Yeah,
I took it around noon today.
You can choose when you take it.
Yeah.
And try it out. But if you decide that that's not, you don't believe in anything, then I guess there's no point. But what's frustrating is that you seem to be pretty set on not trying other options.
Well, I'll try it, but I don't want to be like, when I take the blue pill, it's like, oh yeah, the blue washing liquid is much stronger than the red washing liquid. Like, I don't want to be like a person who like, he's just going to laugh. Like, if it's not true and it has nothing to do with what time you take the drug, and I feel like it, oh yeah, I do feel,
Why do you believe that? Because that's everything I read about it was that you need to take it at the same time every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, for the whole time and everything like that. You think they're just saying that because
it's got to be, it's
they're
long
gaslighting
acting.
you?
It's long acting, right?
I mean,
it's
it seems
not
like you're,
not like a 6-hour drug. Like, oh, it's going to block all the,
but but people say that it affects them after they take it, and the side effects are more pronounced in the few hours after you take it each day. And so it has an effect on them. That's what everyone read
people say
said.
That. I know, but maybe
you
they're
don't
just
believe
maybe
that. And then the
maybe
doctor's
they're
saying
just
it, you don't believe that.
Well, no, doctor didn't say it. Doctor didn't say it. He just said, "Let me know. Why don't you try and let me know?"
Well, no, he said to take it at night, and then you'd get tired, right? And then the tiredness would happen at night as opposed to during the day.
What he said was, if you think it makes you tired, then take it at night, so that you'll be tired while you're asleep, and maybe you'll sleep
So
better.
you're reading it as him saying, if you think that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying you're
Because
reading into it.
here's what's getting me. Here's what's making me confused. Okay. What's confusing me is that like I I would get tired anyway around 3 o'clock usually, right? So maybe I'm just like, oh, this drug is making me tired. Like maybe I'm leaning into it now instead of like what I used to be doing is just like, no, I'm not tired. I've got to beat this. Like I've got to use my mind over matter, Maybe I'm getting weak now. Maybe my mind is getting weak and I'm starting to believe all
But
this stuff.
what would be the problem with taking it at night then? Why does it matter then?
Oh,
Why do you have a resistance then? If you don't believe and you believe it's all hogwash and psychosomatic, then what does it matter? Why can't then you just
because then if
compromise and
yeah.
take it at night, because there's no reason to cling to taking it at a different time, because the doctor doesn't say you have to take it at a specific time. They just
It's
want
true.
you to take it
Yeah.
regularly. I mean, this just to me seems to be self-defeating kind of
I'm worried that I'm going to
stubbornness
forget if I'm going to forget at night is all. Like that's one thing, and the other thing is
what's the difference between forgetting it at night and forgetting it in the daytime?
I don't forget if I take it first thing in the morning.
Well, then you got to decide what's more important: remembering or having a system for remembering to take it at night, and having a habit, or taking it during the
I'll
day,
just
so
take
you
it
don't have to
after I brush
track.
Yeah, I'll just take it after I brush my teeth. I don't want to be a person who like is like believing psychosomatic crap, And I've been tired before.
Well, be that person, but just try it at night and see if it makes a difference. I mean, it seems like the psychosomatic part or the mental part is not psychosomatic. It's you going out of your way to undermine yourself. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're clinging very firmly to some kind of idea that really has a simple solution, which is just try taking it at night.
Yeah, I'll do that.
There's no wall you have to defend in taking it during the daytime. It's not like the doctor told you have to take this every morning.
I understand.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and you've decided, and you're mulling over the fact, well, I think I should take it at 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
The doctor's telling me I should take it in the morning, but I've
got
to fight.
Yes.
I got to fight and think about this. You're fighting with yourself in some kind of strange mental thing you've put up. You're gaslighting yourself.
Well, also the depression thing is kind of bumming me out. But then, and my theory about the depression thing is that, the research that says, like something great happens to you, you win everybody's got like a baseline level of happiness and sadness. So like after like a year after you win the lottery or after, your pet dies or something, you're back to normal again. So I'm figuring that for me, it'll be 6 months. I'll just be happy again in 6 months.
And yeah. But the baseline thing is also, it's not. So if, for instance, everyone in your family dies, right? That doesn't mean you're going to go back to your baseline in 6 months, right? I mean, there are outside forces that can affect you and can undermine you, but that can also uplift you, right? And so but it's true, winning the lottery isn't going to make you the happiest person on earth. So, but there's a limit on both directions. So
I'm just
hoping
hoping
you've got some absolutist thinking, and it feels like you're psyching yourself out in some way that maybe it's the depression and everything like that, but it seems like something that's not a recent development. It seems like a little more. It seems like a lot of overthinking, and barriers that you've put up, self-imposed barriers you put up in your mind. Like I'm not gonna do this because I don't want to be a weak person. It's just like, how does that apply to just taking a pill at a different time of day and trying it out and seeing? And I guess you could say, it's the fear of doing that, and then it doesn't make anything better. I mean, that to me would be the problem I would have. It's like, oh, okay. But I would still do it. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then it's like, oh, it didn't make a difference. Right? That to me, but I'm
Yeah.
different, I guess.
All right. Rusty says he's looking forward to the TDM show in July, and we all are.
Long time from now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying not to be tough lovey here, but it seems like you're. It's not that. It's not. I don't feel like I'm saying buck up. I'm just saying, Jesus, give yourself a break. Don't make it harder than you have to make it. It's already hard enough. That's all I'm trying to say.
I got Heidi's writing here. Let's see. People do try day or night. Sometimes they are sensitive. Yeah, to the company that makes the pill too. I read that. I read if you use it like you use a different version of it, then people have less side effects and stuff like that. So I know. I don't want to be. I can't be a person who, you know. I'm sad that I'm depressed. I'm irritated that I'm depressed. You know, I don't want to be like this. It's summer. I'd like to and I like I don't want to be one of these people. Sorry.
Well, I think it's two different things. Yeah, the medication's having an effect on you, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
Yeah, I'll try taking it at night. We'll see if I'm up all night sweating. But I mean, and the sweating is really not as bad. Actually, each night that I've been progressively taking it later and later, and I've had more sweats at night. That's interesting. That's really funny. That's crazy. All right.
It's not if I don't know. The superficial reading I did about it and looking at what people said, it that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's what people were
I'm telling
saying.
you, if I get breast cancer on the other breast, man, I'm going to be so angry. And on top of it, Dr. Trupin, my gynecologist, is just like, well, just take your, we'll just yank your uterus. Like, she's ready to pull that out anytime. So, yeah. All right.
All right. Well, stay tuned.
Sorry.
There's nothing to apologize for. Yeah. Just be a little nicer to yourself.
Okay. What are we going to do next week? Do we have another guest? Okay.
I haven't scheduled a guest yet.
We'll be in better moods next week. Thank you guys for listening.
All right.